Oh, shnikes. Let's not get weird. Okay, it looks like we managed to get a little bit of the jitters out with that first video. Haven't figured out all the kinks. I did get some of my camera stuff figured out. I'm working on some audio things and improving that, but we'll get there little by little each week. Welcome, I guess, or welcome back if you're here after watching my first video. I really appreciate you sticking with me because I'm sure that that was pretty painful. A couple things about today is I know that the lighting is funky and the noise might not be great, but this is my third time sitting down to film this, so we're just gonna push through and see what happens, and I'm gonna learn how to fix things like that as we go along. The first time I filmed, my neighbor started mowing his lawn almost immediately as soon as I sat down to film. And then the second time, it started pouring and I didn't have the light on and it got so dark in here that I honestly just couldn't fix it with any kind of editing. It was too much. So we're trying again. The lights are on, so things get a little bit extra warm in here, but we'll try and figure that out. My neighbors are playing basketball outside. It's about to start thunderstorming, but here we are. I don't have much time to do this, so we're gonna push ahead and you'll forgive me, I hope. And if you have a really big problem with it, then sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. So the reason that I'm really determined to push through and get this video recorded now is because for my birthday, which was this past weekend, I asked for closet organization for my gift from my husband. That's something that we've kind of always had on our list of things to do around the house. You know, we bought a fixer-upper many years ago and it's just never ending. So the closets and our, you know, enjoyment of having nice organized closets kind of gets pushed out of the way for things like asbestos remediation and fun stuff like that. So this isn't going to be a huge remodel, but I just wanted some type of simple organizational system for my closet because right now our closets, we just have a shelf and a bar. So I wanted something that I could maybe use to store my handmade stuff a little bit better and keep everything a little bit nicer and keep it more visible for me so that I wear it more often. I am definitely an out of sight, out of mind type of person. So this room, and specifically this chair, is probably going to become a dumping ground as I clean out my closet and take everything I own out of there as we put together whatever new system I decide to get. So I really wanted to get this filmed because I have no idea how long it's going to take to get everything in there, and I'm probably gonna Marie Kondo through my closet stuff as I put it all back in as well. So anyway, the whole point of this story is I don't actually know what I want yet exactly for my closet organization, but I do know that I really want to prioritize storage for my handmade stuff. So if you would like to see what my handmade items are so far that I have, and B, to see how I store them currently and what I decide to do for my new storage, then let me know. I will happily make a video for that. I probably won't make a video for the whole closet ordeal because I don't really need to show you all of my other clothes and items that I have, but I think that it could be fun to take you through some of my handmade items and kind of figure out how to store them together. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know down below because I haven't picked out a storage system yet. I haven't gone shopping with my husband to figure it out. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Probably some type of open shelving is what I'm thinking, but I will definitely take any recommendations you have, or even if you have recommendations for other videos that you know of that I should check out for people who have done something similar, definitely let me know. So last time I realized that I went so quickly through everything that I was currently working on, and I really didn't spend much time telling you about myself. So I thought I would take a minute right now and just let you know a little bit about who I am. And if you want to introduce yourself down below, I would love that too. I'd love to get to know you a little bit. But my name is MC, like the letters, like MC Hammer or Master of Ceremonies. And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as blametheknots. And you can also find my website at blametheknots.com. So it's all the same everywhere. I live in Connecticut with my husband, my dog, and 2 cats. And we live in a cute little beach town that I love, except for the fact that we do get winters here. I am definitely a warm weather person at heart. So now that we're in the summertime, I love my little beach town. I love having everything so close to me so I can get to the beach anytime I want. But cold weather still comes around every so often, and that's not my favorite. But we don't have to worry about that for a few more months. I work in publishing, so I really love to read. That's one of my other passions besides knitting and crocheting. It's something that I do all day long for work, and then when I get out of work, I am also always frequently listening to or reading a book. So let me know if you're a reader too. I would love to talk to you about it. I think at the end of this, I will mention quickly what I've been reading, and we can see if we have any genres in common that we like to read. I also am someone that lives with fibromyalgia and chronic pain, and I think about that a lot with my making. I think about that a lot with my designs, and I try to be very conscious about what I'm working on and the elements that I'm using in my design to really think about the body and ways that we can maybe end up with a little bit less pain or take care of ourselves as we're making. This has been a pretty constant struggle for me, and it's something that I'll probably end up talking about more in the future. That's all I'll really say about it for right now. But it's an ongoing journey, and it's something that I'm just starting to learn more and more about, and really focusing on learning my body and what it needs while I'm crafting. So I will maybe take you along on that journey a little bit as I make some new discoveries. I know a lot of this is going to be pretty personal to me, and I won't share a lot of those things, but if I come up with any tips or tricks, I will happily share them so that anyone that is out there maybe dealing with something similar can maybe find a little bit of relief and find some joy in their making when maybe before they couldn't. Okay, I just kicked my tripod real hard, so I tried to line things up again, but I might be in a slightly different place than I was before. But I was trying to stand up so that I could show you what I'm wearing. This is my Look at My Holes by James N. Watts, and I used Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend in the color Whipped Cream. I believe the only modifications that I made were adding 2 lace repeats to the body because I have a very long torso, so most cropped things don't fit me very well. They're way too short on me. And then on the sleeves, after I split for the sleeves and when I picked up again, I just went straight to the ribbing and I didn't do any lace repeats on the sleeves. I used a US 10 needle, and unfortunately I don't know what size I made. I made this before I learned to take better notes for my knitting, and I also made this before I really fully understood the benefits of swatching and gauge and changing your needle size depending on what you need. I was starting to discover it when I made this, but I really don't trust the gauge that I had for this. I think I decided to go up a size or maybe even two because my gauge was off. I wish I had written it down because I really don't know. I suppose I could probably count the stitches along my ribbing at the top and figure out what size I made. But James N. Watts has very recently come out with a new edition of this pattern that includes short rows, and I've never found that the lack of short rows in this really bothers me, but it is a little bit high on the front neck. So I'm really looking forward to making this pattern again and implementing the short rows. I really do love this top, and it's such a fun pattern to make. You can really feel like you're doing a dance with your needles. It's very cool. But it is a pattern that causes me a bit of pain, so I will have to be kind of focusing only on that one pattern and not really working on a lot of other things at the time when I make it. But I am really excited to try that short row addition to the pattern, and I'm thinking of maybe making it in the cotton linen blend, something like very loose and airy for the summertime over a bathing suit or something. We'll see. Summertime might be gone by the time I get around to it, but I would really like to. So last time I had mentioned a couple of tests that I was part of, and I wasn't able to show you any of them. So I have them all here with me today. My dog just gave a big sigh. I think she's very done with me right now. She doesn't like me talking to the camera. Anyway, my first test is my Percussion Tee from Amanda of Lovely by Lee. This is completely finished, and I love it so much. I will put some pictures right here of me wearing it this past weekend. I got some great pictures outside. It was a beautiful weekend, and it was a lot of fun to snap some pictures with my husband and wear this tee. I actually wore it out and about for Worldwide Knit in Public Day. I don't normally celebrate Worldwide Knit in Public Day because it always falls on my birthday weekend, and I usually like to do my own thing for my birthday weekend. So I usually celebrate quietly on my own, and I'm always out and about knitting or crocheting, but I kind of do my own thing and I don't really go to any events. But I did wear my Percussion Tee, and I used Premier Yarns Cotton Fair Solids in the color Cream. Let me double check. Yeah, in the color Cream. And oh my gosh, this yarn was great. It was so squishy to work with. It just felt so good on the hands, and it washes amazingly. This is so, I'm not playing with it because I can't stop squishing it. This is so squishy and comfy and cozy, and it was nice and breezy and airy for the summertime. I was shocked. This was some yarn that had just been gifted to me from someone that didn't want to use it anymore, and wow, I want to go get more of this in some other colors and play around with it and make some really comfy summer tops in it. I feel like a nice tank would be really great, and maybe a bralette would feel so good on really, really hot days. Oh, and I wanted to mention for the Percussion Tee, I did make the size large, which gave me about 10 inches of positive ease. That is not the recommended ease for the pattern. The pattern suggests 6 to 8 inches of positive ease, but Amanda needed testers for the size large, and I figured, let me give it a shot. And actually, I really, really love the way that it fits with all of that positive ease. However, there are some testers that did neutral or even negative ease, and oh my gosh, it looks so good. I really, really want to make another one of these. I would happily make it. I believe I finished this in less than 2 weeks. Granted, I knit a lot every day that I was working on it, but it went so fast, and I was so shocked that even making a size bigger than I normally make, I was able to fly through it. I would happily make another one, and I actually already signed up for another test for Amanda. The next test that I have is this super bright shell Yea Skirt from Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy. And this yarn is Ken Yarn Aurora Fingering in the colorway Beach City. And Jake from Ken Yarn is no longer dyeing, so you can't get this, but I need to know what Jake uses or used to wash yarn, because I am not someone that likes scents at all. I get a lot of reactions to scents, but man, this smells so good. And I've already even blocked this and it still is retaining that scent. It smells vanilla-y, maybe? I should move on because you probably don't want to keep watching me sniff this. So anyway, this is the Shell Yea Skirt. I will see if I can maybe put in a better picture, because I don't think that you're going to be able to see all of the really cool stitches that Chelsea has in here. This is 99% done. Tonight I just need to attach some elastic to the waistband and weave in ends, and then it is time to get some photos. So by the next time I am here, you will be able to see some finished photos that I have. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny this weekend so I can take some pictures. And then this one will be another one that is done and ready to wear. Next up, I have my Seashore Skirt from Brie of the Little Wolf Knits. And I am using 2 sock blanks from Brie, Brie's own hand-dyed yarn. And I'll put a picture of what those looked like when I first got them right here. If you're unfamiliar with what a sock blank is, it is undyed, typically undyed yarn that is already knit up into this big long rectangle. And what Brie does is she uses these sock blanks during her dyeing process as a way to sop up excess dye so that it's not going down the drain, to wipe off her gloves or the bottles if any dye gets on them. And it's a way for her to have less waste in her dyeing process. And then she sells the sock blanks as a fun extra that people can get, and every single one is unique, and you never know what you're going to get because it totally depends on what Brie has been dyeing and what collection she's in the middle of or what she's been working on. So the sock blanks that I got from Brie were, one was a mostly green and one was mostly blue. They were both very saturated, and I had reached out to Brie and we talked about a couple different options for me, and I thought that those two would look really cool together when I helically knit them. So I have been helically knitting the green and blue together. I hope you can see that. I am not sure how my camera does with focusing, so we'll see together. So what has been happening with this, I love it and the pattern's great. The only thing that's hard for me is the fact that the yarn, as you can see, is very springy and rameny and very bumpy because they were knit previously. So if you ever had to frog something and then you're trying to continue knitting, well, that yarn has all of those bumps in it because it is used to being in that knitted shape that it's been in. So I was having a lot of trouble with pulling from the sock blanks and working directly from them. So I ended up caking up the sock blanks, which is kind of against the point of them. You're supposed to be able to knit directly from them, but it was just, I was really struggling. So I caked them up, and you can see that even still in the cake, they're very wiggly. But it is a little bit better and easier for me to more evenly pull my yarn from the cakes. I'm sure you can see here that my tension, it has a lot of bumps in it. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I typically have a very even tension. My stitches are usually really uniform. So these bumps are kind of bugging me. I'm hoping that a lot of this evens out once it's blocked, but we'll see. It's definitely something I'm a little nervous about, but it's an experiment. We're trying it out together and we'll see what happens. I have paused this just for a couple of days because right now I'm at a short row section and I have no idea how I'm going to tackle that with also incorporating the like micro striping that I've been doing because of the helical knitting. I don't think I want to do all of the short rows in one color because then there will be just this like random patch of color in the middle of all these micro stripes, but at the same time I'm not quite sure how to handle all of the stripes going back and forth with my short rows. So I'm just pausing on this until the weekend when I can really sit down, put in a lifeline, think through all of the steps, and think through everything that I need to make this happen and work through it all in one go. So if you have any tips, let me know. I did a quick search online and could not find information that I needed, but if you have some, please send it my way. I will let you know. I'll try to maybe film it as I do it and see if I can maybe help someone else out in the future if I figure this out on my own. We'll see. Okay, so that is all I have to show in terms of projects this week. Anything that I showed last time that I did not talk about today, it's because I haven't touched it since then. The only thing that I did work on is my cherries on top crop, which is a design that is in progress. And I just don't want to show it today because I have a section of it worked up and I'm gonna frog back and change it a little bit. So I don't really want to show something that's not going to be what the final product looks like. So that I do have a little bit of work on, but I'm not going to show it today. Maybe, hopefully, by the next time that I am recording, I will have a finished top to show you. I am going to be sending the pattern to my tech editor by Monday. I'm recording on. Okay, my camera just overheated, so that's another new bump in the road. We're gonna have to figure it out, but we'll get there. I've just been sitting here working on adding my elastic to my Yea Skirt while I waited for my camera to cool down a little bit. So that was fun. I think, let me get this out of the way. Oops. I think I was just saying that my cherries on top crop should be finished by the next time that I film because I am due to get the pattern to my tech editor by Monday. So it should hopefully be done. I just have to figure out, well, I have to finish making it, but then I just have to figure out a little join that I want to do and how I want to do the straps, and I really need to get to work and get that pattern written by Monday, but hopefully we'll get it figured out. So yeah, that's all I have to say in terms of projects that I'm working on. I thought that I would just quickly talk about what I've been reading and see if there are any other readers out there that want to chat. So the first thing that I'm reading is Waking Gods by Sylvain Novelle. And this is the second book in the Themis Files trilogy. And I set a goal for myself this year to try and finish some of the series that I've started, because I have a habit of starting a series, reading the first book or maybe the first two books, and then getting distracted and moving on to something else. So I started 2023 with 23 series that I was in the middle of, and I have no idea where I'm at now, but I'm trying really hard to work through the series. So I'm reading this second book, and then hopefully I can get that trilogy finished. It's really good. I am almost done, actually. I don't know if you can see, my bookmark is right there. I'm almost done. It's really good. A lot of stuff has happened in this book, if anybody else has read it. This series is not going where I thought it was going to go. But I like it. I like it, but I'm also a little nervous and afraid to see what happens with the next book and at the end of this one. The next book that I'm reading is an audiobook. I'll put the cover here, and it is called Cult Classic by Sloane Crosley, I believe. This was on hold for a little bit. I had read most of it. I think I only had like 2 hours left, and my book was returned to the library, and then I had to put it on hold again. So my hold just came in, so I can get that book wrapped up. It's unique. I really don't know if I like it or not. I was intrigued enough to continue listening, and I will definitely finish it. It's not what I thought it was at all, so I'm definitely interested to see where it goes in the end. I have no idea where it's going to go. I'm still not entirely sure what it's about. It's a weird one. Definitely a weird one. Granted, I didn't even read the synopsis of it before I started reading it. I don't even know how it ended up on my wish list. I must have seen it at some point and thought it sounded cool, but I don't know. It just, a hold came in from the library, and I was surprised that I had even requested this book, but I'm enjoying it mostly. And then while I was waiting for that hold to come in, I started A Stranger in Town by Kelly Armstrong. This is, I believe, the 6th book in the Rockton Files series. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the series. And it's so good. I love this series. It is a kind of murder mystery, not always a murder, mystery series. And it's so good. It is so good. I also highly recommend the audiobooks. At least for me, all the audiobooks are on Hoopla, so get yourself a library card if you don't already have one, and make use of what your library has to offer. It's my little plug. But anyway, back to the series. It has a lot of trigger warnings, so if there is something that you're nervous about reading, definitely do some research or reach out, and I will happily fill you in on what triggers there are. I don't feel confident enough to list them all here. I feel like I might get something wrong, but I will definitely talk to you about it if you're concerned with that. But otherwise, it is so good. It's such a good series. I believe this is the second to last book in the series, and I'm kind of sad because I love these characters, and I'm always really happy when I can jump back into another book in the series and spend some more time with them. I really love it. I think this will be one that I continue listening to over and over again throughout the years whenever I'm looking for something nostalgic and fun to listen to again. So that's all I'm actively reading. I have a couple books that I've started and have put on hold for a little while, just like knitting and crochet. I like to start things and then ignore them. But in general, I prefer to read a lot of science fiction and fantasy. I do like to read a lot of mystery and suspense as well. For work, I read a lot of romance and nonfiction because those are the best sellers, but those aren't really my genres that I like to read for fun. I usually stick to fiction, and particularly sci-fi and fantasy. So if you are read anything good, let me know. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, let me know. I would love to talk to you about them. I love to talk about books just as much as I love to talk about knitting and crocheting, maybe even more, especially because I work in publishing, so I can talk about books all the time. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today, and I believe my memory card is about to be full, and I don't want my camera to overheat again, so I want to wrap this up real quick. So like I said at the beginning, let me know if you're interested in seeing a video about either my handmade items or how I'm choosing to store them in my new closet organization, or both. I would definitely love to share that with you. And let me know what you're working on. Let me know if you have any suggestions for how to do those short rows in my seashore skirt. I'm really kind of nervous about it, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, I hope you have a good one. I guess I'm supposed to say like and subscribe or something. So do that if you want to. It would be really nice. And take care of you, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Hello, welcome. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Oh, lay down. Apparently I have to spend the first 5 minutes of filming just talking to my camera and like letting the dog get settled and get used to me talking. We're gonna have to figure this out because this is very annoying.